Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. This Cthulhu video is going to be on sanity. This is not going to be the full video on sanity, it's going to be the part one. I don't know how many parts I'm going to break it into, but in this one we're just going to briefly talk about sanity, how you make your checks, roughly how much damage is done to your sanity, and what happens when you fail, as well as a little bit of how your maximum sanity gets affected. So, as you know, when we created our character, we started with so much sanity at the beginning of the game. The sanity is going to be like your hit points for your mind as far as how it's to be treated. If you lose too much at one time, it can cause your mind to start to break. If you're running the game, sanity is listed by the horrifying areas or the monsters as a number / 1 dice. An example is, say you awaken in a trapped coffin. You have, for the game masters, the keeper, the information they are given is it's a 0 / 1d6. So you have the player that's trapped in the coffin roll their sanity. If they succeed and roll under their sanity, then they would take the first number, which is a 0 in this case, sanity loss. Now, if they failed, they would roll a 6-sided dice and lose that amount of points of sanity. Certain creatures or certain effects, you lose sanity immediately, and then even if you pass. So let's say you meet someone you know is dead. That would cause you to lose 1 sanity if you succeed, because it's 1-1d6 plus 1. And then you'd roll a 6-sided dice if you failed and add 1 to it. So that's how the sanity damage more or less works. But if you see multiples of the same creature in the same encounter, say I see a zombie, I would roll versus my sanity versus a zombie. Now I see kind of like a small group of zombies, I only roll once on my sanity versus the group of zombies. Now, if you fail your sanity, the following things could happen upon failing your sanity. You jump in fright. It could cause the investigator to drop something. You cry out in terror. You draw attention, saying something inappropriate. Involuntary movement, swerving the steering wheel dangerously to one side, throwing up one's hands in horror, cringing. Involuntary combat action. If your sanity's failed during combat, this is a possibility. Lashing out with your fists, squeezing a trigger, taking shelter behind somebody else are all possibilities. Or you freeze. Stare disbelievingly for a moment, but take no action. Now, if you fumble a sanity roll, you take maximum sanity damage. Now, your maximum sanity is listed on your character sheet, and it starts at maximum as long as your Cthulhu mythos is 0. Every point of Cthulhu mythos you gain, you reduce your maximum sanity by that point. That does not take away from what your current sanity is. It just lowers the maximum your sanity could ever get to. An optional rule, unless I find out otherwise, I believe it's optional, that if your Cthulhu mythos exceeds your maximum sanity, So say your Cthulhu mythos finally reaches 51 and your maximum sanity is now 49. The sanity damage you take from most things, if not everything, is reduced by half. And I believe that is where I'm going to end part 1 of the video. So, if you found this helpful, if this explained enough about sanity to give you a rough idea about it, let me know.